The following presentation may contain language unsuitable for elderly grandparents, household pets, and nuns. Unnamed Drag Productions accepts no responsibility for any resulting homosexuality, teenage pregnancy, or chemical dependency that may transpire as a result of listening to this garbage fountain. You have been warned. Enjoy!
Unnamed Drag Podcast. Welcome back to the Unnamed Drag Podcast. I'm Nana Rothole. And I'm half cut.
And I'm Marilyn Sane, and I'm cutting myself in half.
And together we are... No, it's Boncella. And together we are... Saber-tooth Tyrannosaurus. Dum-de-diddly-dum-de-dum. I don't know why I'm going with like a Power Rangers theme. Although the other day I tweeted... nobody has any business wearing a single ring on their pinky finger. Because they don't. And then Henny replied and was just like, how dare you say that to my whatever-year-old self like as a kid? And I just said to her, excuse me, as a child, you wear one ring on your pointer finger because did you not watch Captain Planet? He's a hero, gonna bring pollution down to zero. You never saw Captain Planet?
No, I'm not old.
Oh my god, Captain Planet. So it was basically like
I know what it is.
Oh.
I know of it.
Okay, cool.
I just never watched.
We're off to a raging start today. Oh my god. So, hello, welcome back to Unnamed Drag Podcast. Boom! Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we're a little bit tipsy. We've been drinking.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, which is why we've made these makeup choices.
So basically, your look to me is just giving me Smurf at a fisting party.
Mine's very much like All Saints, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at.
Whereas
shoulder drama.
Shoulder drama.
If you're not watching this, you can get a lovely audio.
It's like if you played that on loop, I could sleep to that.
Oh my god, it's like sea. Yeah, like sea sound
rain on a
effect.
tin roof. Yeah.
Or diarrhea on the side of the toilet bowl. I mean, we've all done it.
Absolutely.
You know that one time that Mary Berry had to eat raw dough? You know it just fell out of her.
Pebble Dash.
There's a drag queen in Glasgow called Pebble Dash.
That's fantastic.
Which is great. I think, no wait, not Glasgow, Newcastle kind of area. North. I'm up there.
I saw a drag queen on Instagram called Rizla Blue.
That is excellent.
Isn't that fantastic?
Oh, that awkward moment of when you hadn't really started smoking weed or roll-ups and you'd have to go into the shop and be like, can I get some Rizzlers please? What colour? White. The paper's white. What more do you want?
What colour? In the know.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Peer pressure, that's the colour. Help me with this strap, darling.
Okay.
Sorry, my little dungaree skirty scenario isn't... I've got like...
What do you need?
I don't know.
Is that right?
Yeah, I just felt like there was some... I felt like there was some bulging going on.
I mean, yeah, you're wearing it.
Yeah, there's a lot of bulging happening and not where it should be. Welcome back to the Unnamed Drag Podcast, and what are we discussing, deliberating, dissecting today?
We're talking about holidays and trips, I think.
Yes.
Today's subject matter. So, Nana, give me a story about a holiday or a trip that you've been on that may not have panned out as you would have liked.
Exactly as I wanted it to.
That would have been nice.
Oh my god. I mean...
Because we've all been there. Everyone shit themselves in a hotel toilet.
I would never say that I'm a person that is, very well read. I'm very well read, very well travelled. I am well read. I'm not well travelled. I'm thinly travelled. I would probably say it's the only thin thing about me. I've been to. Let's list the places that I have travelled to. I have been to Spain and Catalonia, which most people are like, that's just Spain, but cool. I've been to Paris in France. I've been to Canada. I've been to America, and I've been to various bits of the UK. That is it.
I didn't know you'd been to America.
I have. I've been to America twice.
That's
technically
never
3 times, because one time when I was in Canada we did cross the border, which is quite fun.
I've never had any interest in going to America.
I went to...
It looks like a very extreme place that I have no place in.
Well, when I went to America, I was 14 and then 15 years old. It was like on a kind of exchange program thing, almost, but not. It was like
your parents tried to get rid of you.
They dropped me off at the nunnery. Next thing I knew, I was in Minnesota. So when my mum was a teacher, and she used to teach at a school in Carlisle, which is again just over the border. We lived in Scotland and used to drive an hour every day and be like, I'm out of Scotland, thank God. I'm kidding, I love Scotland, it's fine. But they did a teacher exchange program where teachers came over from Minnesota, and it was when I was in the theatre. And she was a history teacher, but she used to teach. She used to help coordinate the summer showcase that they did, which was called Trajectories. Why are you looking at me like you're going to read me for filth about that?
No, this is fine.
Is it okay so far? Am I allowed to continue with this story?
Go on.
Tragic stories, yeah, tragic stories. No, Trajectories. And she came to see me in a play. And not meaning to toot my own horn, but she was like, you're amazing, I do this thing, would you like to come over? And me and my best friend Laura at the time, we wrote
Filled your bags with false hope to
I'm going to be using sense memory for this one. So we went over to America. We did fundraising. We wrote to various places.
Dear Blue Peter, I want a free holiday.
No, it was like Dear Co-op. We wrote to various places, and they gave us some cash, and we did some
really cool.
fundraising and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool. And we went over and stayed there for 3 weeks and did the summer program. We wrote a play together, which was a complete rip-off of Spike and Drusilla from Buffy.
Oh god.
Very that energy. We spoke in those accents and whatever. It doesn't matter.
That sounds awful.
They were a couple of teenage serial killers who were also soulmates. Very goth. But
I hate it.
we went over and did a production there, but also a play that I'd written, which was called Paradise High, but spelt parody high, do you know what I mean? Parody SE high. And
You don't have to explain it, it's not that clever.
no, it isn't. I was a kid at the time. Fuck off.
I'm kidding.
But she read that play, and it was a send up of teen dramas, American teen dramas, and I was with no sense, you know how Americans love irony, but they don't understand it.
Yeah.
She was like, "This is great. We want to put this on." So it was a bunch of Americans acting it out, taking the piss out of themselves.
Oh.
Just so meta. But I got away with it at the time because whatever. So we went over, but then the next year, my friend Laura didn't come, but I went on my own, and I just directed a play that I'd written, which was a comedy, which was basically just a rip-off of Upstairs, Downstairs meets Absolutely Fabulous.
And Laura hasn't come to this day.
No, absolutely.
She just flicks a bean.
No, not at all. Laura was from the age of 13 until I moved down to Nottingham. She was my best friend.
Cute.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No one does at all. But that's why I went to America. But I did. So cute. I did have a summer romance at that age.
In America?
Yeah.
Did you get fisted?
No, you're so awful. Although I did fool around with him in a. It was in a play park at night when the kids were around in something that looked like a pirate ship. So lots of our friends the next day when they found out were like, "Ha! There she blows!
Shiver me timbers!
Yes, lots of that, obviously." Yeah. But then the next year I went back and did actually meet up with them again.
And you pretended you didn't know me.
Met up with them again. And bromance blossomed. But anyway, Mum, if you're listening to this, it wasn't Susie's fault, who was supposed to be looking after me. I just fucked off and did my own thing a lot, and she left me to it. Bless her. I know. She was like, "This child is my ward. I'm supposed to be their guardian, and he's just not coming home for 2 days." But she was super cool about it. To the point at which when I got home, I was like, "Oh, you wish you were Susie. She's so much better than you are."
So trips.
How drunk am I?
I know, right?
I went off on that tangent.
That was a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that really was. So that's all the places that I've been. Marilyn, where have you been?
Jesus, I don't know, fucking Greece, what do you want?
You're Benidorm.
Yeah.
8 times.
No. Our family used to own a house in Greece.
Really? Why
Yeah.
Greece?
Have you ever been? I fucking love Greece. Greece is amazing. It's the right mix of the perfect weather with culture and I just think it's wonderful. I love Greece. And the food's gorgeous and the people are
Is it gorgeous for you? It wouldn't be gorgeous for me, is it that kind of thing?
No, you can have stuffed vine leaves to your heart's content.
You can have some hummus.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It's backlit honey. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of honey, there's a lot of yogurt, so maybe not for you.
Okay.
But fucking love it.
Plus, Mediterranean men,
So much wank bank.
I bet
comes from
there
my
is.
family holidays. Like there was like so many. Anyway, yeah.
Don't just okay. You criticise me for going off on a tangent. We can't just spend the rest of the podcast with you gooey-eyed looking into the distance like his name was Pedro.
Yeah.
That's not a Greek name.
But,
his name was Christos, Dimitri.
Yanis.
Yanis.
So yeah, Greece is like my heartland. I fucking love it. I would happily move there. So Greece, Spain, France.
In France.
In France.
Did you do a city or did you do like
I did like a
countryside?
I did
France?
like a youth hostel thing in France.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was awful.
I've been to Amsterdam. I know
Oh,
there's
I've never been to Amsterdam.
stories about that in a minute, but you
Gran
go.
Canaria at Gay Pride.
Oh yeah,
Twice.
When there's more BJs lining the streets than there are street lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You told me all about that when you were just like, why is that hedgerow moving? Oh. Got you. Shaking hot white coconuts from the veiny love tree.
India for 5 weeks.
That was
amazing.
not a holiday.
No,
but
that
you
was
did
not a holiday.
You make the best of a bad situation though.
Oh, totally.
Being
It wasn't a
isolated.
bad situation.
Isolated-ish though for 5 weeks.
It was
though.
It was a work trip,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of work. So I came back exhausted. But India's
You
an
do look
amazing
quite
place.
tired. Yeah. Very red around the eyes.
India's an amazing place. I would go back. I'm trying to think where else I've been.
Devon. Devon's lush though.
Fucking
There's
love
some
Devon.
lovely parts of the UK. Doesn't
But
get enough rep.
but like, let's talk about memorable moments.
Memorable moments.
Let's break
Although,
this shit
quick
down.
sidebar. Do you think that we should go on holiday together at some point, or would that just be a fucking disaster?
I go back and forth.
I do as well. I'm like, would it be great, or would it be
exhausting? Yeah.
Like, because sometimes we have days together when we're like working or filming or doing a gig or whatever, and afterwards I'm like, I'm dry.
Yeah.
I've got nothing left to give because all I've done is laugh and make jokes and talk about
I think
shit.
we could do a long weekend.
Yeah, I think that would be the responsible adult thing to do.
Because whenever we meet up, usually we're like, turn it on because we're filming or we're doing a podcast
Yeah, that's
or we're doing a
fair.
show. So we're both like on.
We frequently say sometimes we should just hang out.
We should just be friends
Like-
at some point.
and there's no benefit behind it.
We should just sit silently and go through our phones.
But when we had that costuming day, and then
That was cool.
we drank all that wine and did tarot readings,
was a lovely
and then
day.
before I knew, I was like, it's 10 o'clock and my diabetic cat needs his insulin shot. I best go home. Yeah, fully would have stayed there until whenever.
So I think we could do holiday.
Yeah,
It
why
doesn't
not?
worry me too much, but
No.
also that most of my worry just comes from a place of like self-paranoia. Will I be hated after so?
Will it all be over?
Yeah. No, it comes
The
from
veil has been drawn.
Yeah.
The damage is done.
how long will it take for people to be sick of me?
Like, shortly after we go on holiday together, the next thing you see is we're just on Judge Judy. Plaintiff Nana Rothhole, age 33, is suing Marilyn Sane, age 27, for emotional damage and loss of belongings.
Claims she woke up in a villa in Spain getting fingered. With no memory of how she got
Oh
there.
my god, that would be on it.
You got lipstick on your teeth.
The camera can't see it, and the
Okay.
podcast certainly can't, but cool, thanks. Yeah, that would be a holiday for me though. If they did like, you know how you can go to Harry Potter World? If you could go to like Judge Judy Day, I'd fucking go on it.
But going on holiday with friends, make or break.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
I've been on holiday with friends before where it's been fantastic, but again, the same thing we were just saying, where like at the end of each day you wake up and you're just like, I'm so tired.
Just want to have a shit
I
and not have
don't-
to worry about the noise.
Yeah, like at what point can I toss myself off without
Yeah.
having to be like covert, like reconnaissances?
Yeah.
What was that? Oh my god! Yeah, very like those scenarios of by the time you get to the end of the holiday, you're like, I've had a great time, but I can't wait to get home and be surrounded by all my things.
It's like-
with my space. I love you. What is it? What's the line? I love you. I love you all so much, but get out of my house. Yeah.
I've been on holiday with my friends to Gran Canaria for Gay Pride.
How many? What's the group number?
We're a group of 4. Well, no, we were a group of
because I've been on
3
holiday with
and
like
4.
8 friends before.
No!
Staying in an apartment.
That's too much because everyone's trying to organise the situation.
I had a great time because I was at an age in my life where it got to one day where I was just like, all of you, go and do your thing today. I'm staying in the apartment with the aircon on and I'm watching YouTube and I'm just...
That sounds lovely.
Sitting on the balcony and chain
Yeah.
smoking and I'm reading and like,
Yeah.
and I'll see you all when you get back.
Get out of my hair.
Yeah, and the best part was that when some of them got back, like 3 of them had sunburn and I was like, what a great day! Love suffering.
Yeah.
But
there is
8 people is a lot, but it's very rewarding when you're having a great time.
But I think there's a reward for that because 8 people is enough for you to like split off into groups or like
Oh, yeah, that happens
move
a lot.
between
Yeah,
people.
definitely.
4 people, you feel like you should do everything together.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
someone's always like, so what do you want to do today?
Mm.
And part of your head goes, absolutely nothing. Fuck off, stop trying to organise fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that person asking what do you want to do today is you.
No, because I'm not that person.
I can be that person.
I went on a holiday with 5 people, and I'm not going to name names, but I will say that 2 of them were Aquarians. Aquarians are planners and organisers, and they like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So watching them each having their separate plans, but not being able to meet somewhere in the middle, and they were also on holiday with 3 people who were very more kind of laid
Chilled, we'll
back.
go with the flow.
I wouldn't even say, I'd say lazy and
Yeah.
disorganised
Yeah.
and a bit like, if we're having chats and I've got a beer, cool.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. And that was a very strange energy to be walking around with, like, we could never quite seem to make a decision because you want everyone to be happy, but equally the 2
Well, everyone's
organisers...
be happy with what you're doing.
The 2 organisers are the ones you want to be the most happy because it means more to them than it does to anyone else.
Yeah.
And if you're more laid back, you're like, yeah, cool, well, let's just do that. But then if those 2 can't reach an agreement, you're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of like aside conversations with my other friend who was just like, I just want everyone to like chill. Do you know what I mean?
So-
which at what point that's when you just be like, fag, beer, let them sort it out, and then we'll deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to do today? Nothing.
No, that wasn't an option. Never an option with 2 Aquarians.
I've
I've
had it. Yeah, I've had that.
If you believe in star signs, I mean, it doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day, but yeah.
But it's real.
Aside, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If star signs are real, why did Gemini's act like that? Anyway.
Just murdered a baby. Hashtag just Gemini things. What were you saying earlier? I just drove a white van into a playground.
Hashtag
Virgo. Oh, not about holidays.
No.
Anyway, what were you saying? I'm so sorry.
So like, I remember I went on holiday with me, my friend Phil, and my friend Edward, and we.
I wasn't naming names, bitch, but okay,
Oh, no,
cool.
no, this is a good story.
Oh, okay. It's more of a you thing,
It was a
right?
great holiday, like, because we went to Gran Canaria Gay Pride, we were all young and single.
Nice.
And we all just went like, let's go out, let's get shit-faced, let's spend all day by the pool,
And just
then
dagger,
do it all over
dagger,
again.
dagger.
Yeah. I sucked a lot of dicks, and like, it was great.
Nice. A
and then-
petri dish for a throat is what you came home with.
Absolutely. I am so lucky I didn't catch anything.
I did an acidity test and the paper just burnt.
Yeah. I went to the doctors burnt down. Weird.
He looked in the back of my throat and something hissed. Did you just hiss at me? No, it was just this primordial soup that I had for tonsils.
Yeah, it was the cholera. So anyway.
Little known STD, cholera, everyone.
So anyway, I was 19 and my friends were like 20 and 20 something. So like,
Jailbait, she's
Yeah,
illegal.
do you know what I mean?
She just tastes safe.
we then, years later, I'm with Matthew.
Yeah.
We're all like in relationships and we all go, let's go back to Gran Canaria.
Nice.
Let's relive that good time.
Lovely idea.
Let's go on a
Let's
gay-
try and recreate
Let's
the
go on a gay
experience.
holiday together. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was a great holiday.
Because you're in bed by 10 every night.
And we, yeah, I did nothing I did on the last one. We went to the Jumbo Centre once.
What's that?
Which is like where all the bars are.
Jumbo Centre sounds like Gum Clinic, but Gran Canaria.
Fully is.
Oh, so it starts in the Jumbo Centre
No, I
and
think-
it ends in the Gum Clinic.
I think we went twice because we went to see a drag show. That was cool, and then I was like, I'm ready to go home. And then we tried to go out, and I was just like, there's too much happening. I hate this. I had a panic attack, and I was just
Hey.
like, no, I'm going home.
Shit.
Yeah, and then so.
As long as it wasn't those holidays where like there's however many of you, but you've only got like one key between you.
Oh, I hate that.
And it's just like, I'm going home early, but you have to stay up to let everyone else.
But flashback to the 19-year-old in Gran Canaria holiday, because the last night I was like, right, it's my last night, so I was sucking a lot of dick, and then got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe, if that. I have no idea. And then
My client has no recollection of that event.
the transfer was at 10:30 in the morning.
Nightmare.
I woke up to my friend Phil poking me on the face going, it's 10 o'clock.
No.
We'd not packed, we'd not nothing. And I had to hungover go, "Ooh," pack all my stuff into a bag and then stand in a queue in a boiling airport looking like purposefully scouting places
Throwing
where I
like
could be
meat
sick.
semen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
It was great.
That's it. And I loved it.
fucking great.
That's the advantage of being with Nick. Nick is so responsible and so organised that when we're like going home, he will actively say like, okay, what we need to do on the last day, and this is what I love. I love this so much. On the last day, we will do this thing and this thing and this thing, which is lovely, and then we'll set aside this time to pack, and then we'll do another lovely thing, and then we'll just chill, and then that's the end of the holiday or whatever.
That does sound
And that's
nice.
so nice because it means that you don't end up waking up in the morning like, tickets, money, passport, like, we need to get to the airport now and
That
we're
sounds
not even
wonderful.
there. Do you
That
know what I
sounds
mean?
wonderful.
Because otherwise, I would be that bitch who's just like, I'll wake up early and sort it out. No, I fucking won't.
Me.
I wouldn't.
You'd be me.
I'll stay up all night and wait for the transfer. Sleeps through transfer.
Yeah.
That would be me.
Me.
Yeah. Very fortunate.
You know, the worst part about that is as well, I can't sleep on public transport, and that includes planes. I can't sleep anywhere but my bed at
Same.
night.
Yeah.
So if I wake up hungover, that's 2 days of sitting up hungover. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the other weird thing about being on any kind of like sunny, lovely holiday is you often will drink all day with your friends or whatever.
You'll never.
It's too warm to get pissed. Second, the sun goes down. I need to go to bed.
But you wake up in the morning, you're like, this is fine.
Oh, yeah, because you're dry.
I don't get hungover.
You don't get hungover, you're just dry. That's what I find.
Yeah.
Normally, especially... Right, okay, when we went to Malta... Malta with the gays and had a lovely team.
With the gays, with the gays,
For the gays. Me and Nick had like the smaller room, which meant that with the aircon on, it got colder, like faster. And I'm a fucking vampire. I can't deal with heat or any of that sort of nonsense. So what was fantastic is you turn the aircon on, it would get so cold
It's
so
a
fast,
morgue.
and then it would just sustain that tiny chilly temperature all
wonderful.
fucking night. So people would like open the door in the morning and be like, it's so cold, and we'd be like, I know, close the door.
Yeah.
Glorious moments. I mean,
Yeah.
but the running joke in my group of friends is how easily I burn. I go the colour of your fucking eyeshadow if I think about sunlight for 15 minutes. These
Oh, boy.
these soft box lights which are on us, if I sat here for
You're
too
getting a
long,
tan.
would give me a tan. I'm not even joking.
Whereas
I've got the skin of like a redhead.
Yeah,
whereas
whereas-
I don't have red hair.
I'm a little olive boy.
You are.
Yeah.
You've got like that coconut matting kind of.
Yeah.
Here it is. Like she could.
Something-
She could pass for European, but
Yeah.
she's not. I could pass
Something
for a fucking
Mediterranean
ice
happened
pole.
in my ancestry. We don't know what. It's fine.
I think my ancestors were probably lighthouse keepers in Sweden. Do you know what I mean? The bluest eyes and like the faintest skin. Honestly, I'm a wisp. Like an
okay.
actual wisp. So
That sounds awful.
But I do love being in that sunny climate because I'm like, hit me with that vitamin D and that
Yeah.
serotonin and that.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that I've probably said this to you before. I'm fairly nocturnal, but I do like to photosynthesize. Like a plant. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like a house plant. So I love the weather, but I can't cope with the fucking heat. That's my issue. Whereas you are like, if it's hot,
Burn me.
I'll sweat and burn.
Yeah.
Fight me, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I will be like,
I adjust to my climate very quickly.
when you look over at me and you're just like, oh my god, did Buffy find a nest? Like, what's this pool of ashes lying next to me?
So let's talk about cringy.
Cringy.
Because I know you've got some cringy.
Oh, I've got some
stories.
cringe. So I went to Amsterdam for my friend's birthday one year, and Amsterdam is like a state of mind. It's what you make of it. You can have a wonderful time there. Wait, what's the quote? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It's very much that. We'll fight them on the beaches. No, that's Chris Eubanks. Anyways, so 8 out of 10 cats.
Right, okay.
Greg Davies does like an impression of anyone. Does not matter. So this Pinot Grigio is so chatty. So we went to Amsterdam and we decided, well, let's do some of the touristy stuff.
Yeah.
Touristy stuff would be cool. I mean, you can sit in a cafe all day and just smoke weed and wander around and see the sights and stuff like that. But we were like,
just quickly to interject, there's always those people next to, when I'm trying to read next to the pool, there's always the, hi, I'm with the hotel animation staff. Do you want to do some water aerobics? No, Becky. Go take your gap year somewhere else. I'm reading. Do you want to play water polo? No. Do you want to do an activity in the pool? Fuck off!
Take your failed European politics degree elsewhere.
No, you're just having a nice time on someone else's butt. Stop trying to get everyone else involved.
Exactly.
Carry on.
So sorry. We were like, there's such a reputation for the sex museum, for the torture museum,
penis museum,
and for the dungeons of Amsterdam,
or that,
as well as all of the cafe places and whatever. Oh, the cannabis, the marijuana, that fucking museum was one of the worst experiences as well. That again has a reputation. You go in and it just feels like a shop. Just feels like a shop. They don't even sell weed, but there's lots of posters up about different types of marijuana and stuff like that. And they've got like one plant under like a glass, like the fucking rose in Beauty and the Beast. Like, don't touch it. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, they don't charge you to get in, but they ask for a donation. Bitch, I gave them €1. It was a bad time.
What? You're gonna have a bad time.
But they call itself a museum. I feel that that's just funding a stoner's smoking habit.
Yeah.
Like, he's printed off some word art.
This is my museum. This is the first Whistler I bought.
Yeah. You look around and you're like, bitch, why can I see like a bed in the back? Like, you sleep here. I can
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
But
I mean,
that kind of level of it's not a museum, it's someone's hobby.
Yeah.
So that was terrible. The other thing was the sex museum was so busy, it was literally like a conveyor belt of people. Like, you had to walk in single file to get around some bits. So
Jesus.
you couldn't even wait to look at what was happening, because if the person behind you was done, you had to crack on and just get back out. There was like a bondage, BDSM kind of section. It fucking wasn't. It was like a small room with some pictures up with just sound effects like, and I was like, what's wrong with that woman? Is she being sick?
That's the white noise I sleep. Don't know where you.
Oh, that's so fucking awful.
Can you imagine?
Oh, just I've got this white noise machine that's like womb, rainforest.
Room name.
And then you turn around to the next one and it's just like, oh,
Nipple
ocean. Nipple clamps in the ocean, whatever. God, what are my neighbours thinking is happening right now?
Right?
So that was shit. There's lots of statues where it's just like, here is a man with like, you know...
An anus.
Yeah, basically, this person was carved out of marble. Notice the massive penis. It was really, it just wasn't that great. But then we got to the dungeons of Amsterdam. And the other thing is as well, is for the reputation that they have, these dwellings are very, very small. So you actually get into them, you can get around them in 10 minutes. They're not like museums or exhibitions where you can spend a day there. Like when you go to, me and Nick were in Valencia for one of our last holidays, and we went to the Museum of Science. It's incredible. Like, we couldn't possibly get round to all of it because we went there.
So when you go to the British Museum in London,
it's
exactly huge.
Like, you could spend so much time there, it's outrageous. Like, we didn't even get round it all in the time because we went there before we had. It was on the last day. We were getting an afternoon flight. We went there for the morning. We ran out of time. We were like, have to go and get our shit and get to the airport. Not possible. Fantastic. These museums, no, you could whiz round it.
That's a house, Mary.
Yeah,
Clean your grout.
you live like this. Honestly, why are you collecting Absolute vodka bottles? We walked around the Sex Museum and the Torture Museum again, really, really, really quickly.
Why are you collecting Absolute vodka bottles?
Why? Why is anyone doing that that's not a student? If you pass the age of 21,
Stop it.
when it's the same bottle, spoiler alert.
You're a bitch.
Yeah, anyway, so we then went to we got these passes which meant that you could go to all of them. So we went to the Dungeons of Amsterdam, and
Cool.
it's a franchise. It's like they've got one in London and wherever, blah blah blah. So it's the same kind of premise, and
that makes it less fun.
it's interactive as well.
Oh no.
So each room that you go into is like a scene where there's an actor playing
Oh, no,
a
I
judge
hate
or a
that.
wench or an executioner. or
No,
whatever.
fuck that.
The worst one was we went into the judge where it's supposed to be like a fucking witch trial or a medieval inquisition or whatever. The judge was talking in English and the person they pulled up into the docks was Spanish and didn't speak enough English to know the scene. So he's like going on like, what is your name? And she's just like, no comprendo, me no understand.
Oh no.
And me and my friends turned to each other like, well, this is bad. This is really bad. But then once you've been through all of the rooms with the, what's the word? Submersive, whatever.
Bullshit?
The submersive bullshit. Like, you get to the end and you get on the final bit, which is like supposed to...
Final countdown.
It's supposed to be like a ride, like a fairground ride.
What, like a roller coaster?
The smallest roller coaster you've ever been on your life. It lasted about 45 seconds. It went along a straight path and then up a little hill, turned a corner really sharply, and then just came out of the exit. And then on the way out, they're trying to do an Alton Towers like, do you want to buy your picture?
You sat there going,
I've never seen a group of people looking so disinterested in a photograph. We all just looked so unamused. I think, in fact, me and my friend were looking at each other saying, where do you want to go after this? So no, we do not want that on a keyring or a mug or a t-shirt or a poster or a postcard. We got the fuck out of there and we found a bar.
So that's not a roller coaster, that's a tiny tram.
It's like
to the exit.
It's like when you find a trolley on a night out and you get your friend to push you around in it for a bit. Like, I've had a more exciting time in a trolley than I have in that. So that was the Amsterdam Dungeons. It wasn't enough. The most entertaining part about that whole holiday was that a friend that we were with at the time, who will remain nameless, had too much weed, but decided, well, I don't want to waste it. So they tried to smoke it all on the last night, and the rest of us had gone to bed, and they just stayed up to try and hammer through it. We got up in the morning, and there was some toast in the toaster that had never been eaten, and some butter on the side, and just paraphernalia, and her just lying on the sofa what, I need to pack? Yes, you need to pack, Mary, get the fuck up. They tried their hardest, didn't succeed, so we just decided we'll put it somewhere in a drawer, and if someone finds it, great.
Yeah, that's nice.
When friends that I know that have been to festivals before where they found some drugs and had some drugs but couldn't take them back through customs, they were like, we'll just leave them somewhere where if the next guests find them and want them, cool.
Yeah.
Although then that's kind of unfair, because if it's a powder, surely write on it ketamine, speed, and because otherwise they don't know what they're getting.
Mystery mix. Have a great night.
Cuddles! Just leaves it there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was Amsterdam, but...
Either that or the cleaners banging.
Oh, having the best time. I know someone who went backpacking, and when they got to, I can't remember what country they were in. They were from Australia to New Zealand to somewhere else, so maybe it's in that Pacific Rim or whatever it's called. So they got there and they stayed there for a while, and they'd hidden some money in the room, but they stayed there for a bit. And when they packed up all their shit, they got to the next place and realised that they had to cut the trip short because $1,000 had been stolen.
Shit.
Excuse me, I'm just burping. But that person, I couldn't believe it. They said, yeah, we had to cut the trip short. But if you think about the person that took it, that could pay for like children to go to school, that could get them a house, that could get them you don't even know what. So they were very zen and calmer about it, like, fuck it, it's just money, we'll just come home early. And I was like, I wouldn't be that person.
No.
I'd be like, let's go back and find them. No, I wouldn't. I'm very zen and hippie and calmer and love you all.
I am to an extent, but
love and peace,
at the same time,
Coachella.
like, how many excuses can you make?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's make all crime legal because people need it. No.
Please do.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
I mean, like, what would your fantasy holiday be? The Purge.
Not even kidding.
No, I couldn't.
I'd be a Purge tourist.
I frequently, this is weird, off subject but kind of related. I frequently have nightmares where I've accidentally killed someone and I'm going to go to prison, and I'm just bawling and crying and full of regret and remorse.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't know why that's a fear of mine. A fear of mine is either killing someone or going to prison or both. Like, I don't know which one it is.
Nah.
You're like, cool.
So this is why you show up at my doorstep in my dream with a steamer trunk full of dead body.
Because you're like, I'll
Because
take the
I'm
heat.
like, let's
Yeah.
put it in the back garden with the rest.
You're like, I could trade soap for cigarettes in the big
Yeah.
house. I'm not bothered.
I'll be fine.
Trade you for a packet of nachos.
I'll be fine.
Oh god. But holidays are just a funny fucking thing. Like, going on them with family is not really something
We've not
that I
even
do
touched
anymore.
on family holiday.
I haven't been on holiday with my family in a really, really long time.
I do it quite
and
regularly.
it's something where
It's a shitstorm, but also a fun shitstorm.
my family go on holiday, like my sister and my nephew and my niece and my mum and my dad and my brother-in-law and the dog, they all go off to like these places and we always get invited, but it tends to be about 3 weeks before they're going and we've got a show or an event or a plan or whatever. But I would quite like to go.
Do it.
I'd like to go. I mean, I might live to regret it. You never know what would happen.
Nothing can traumatize
There's
you
only
like
so
a family
much.
member.
There's only so much cranium and Monopoly and Pontoon that you can play with a family member before you're just like, I'm gonna go walk slowly into the sea now.
Yeah. I appreciate that you want to play Monopoly, but all I want to do is glass ski. So-
Do you know what it is as well? Is that I get along so well with my family, but I don't engage with kids that often. And when
Same!
when I see my nephew and my niece, I love it because we have such a good time and such a good laugh. To the point at which sometimes my mum's like, you need to calm down because I'm being stupid and winding the children up, but I don't have to deal with them when they get home.
Yeah.
So basically what I've done is I've just wound up a propeller
And watch him go!
and then guided it at my poor sister and brother-in-law. Yeah, sorry for this hyper child.
Yeah.
I like to think I've worn them out. I haven't. I've hyped them up.
Yeah.
But when I get home from those events, I'm shattered, and I don't. Hats off. I've said this before. I'm sure I have. To my friends and my family and all my loved ones who have got young
Hats off
children.
for putting it with her.
What? I was gonna say you're legends for having kids and having the energy to sustain it. At least on the surface, where it counts.
I mean-
like our friendship on the surface, where
Are
it
you?
counts. No, they are legends
Are you?
because I can barely, drink 2 glasses of wine without being like, oh, I should probably go to bed. It's quite late. Nice. Ooh. Sorry, that was my pop screen. Oh, have you finished? Sorry.
Yeah.
Glug glug is better than wow wow. That's why I don't have kids.
It's true though.
But yeah. So that was holidays.
That was holidays. Don't have kids so you can continue to afford to go on holiday.
No, but going on a family holiday with the kids is great because just look at the
it's
McCanns. They didn't want that one. Got rid of it.
Anyway,
And on that note,
Jesus fucking Christ.
no, don't ask him. He's got nothing to do with it. Madeline would have come home by now. If
He was looking
away.
away when that happened.
Jesus, take the wheel. Thank you.
Drive you into the sea.
Thank you. Kelly Clarkson. Couldn't remember the name. Jesus,
that
take the
who
wheel
said
is a song.
How was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I just thought it was a phrase for people who are responsible.
I mean, it kind of is. Right.
We've had too much wine.
We've had too much. Let's fuck off because I keep knocking the pop screen standy bit around.
Mine's covered in so much spit.
Absolutely. So, take it home for the win, Marilyn, saying, what would you like everyone to do with our podcast?
I would like you to put it on a memory stick and then put it into a bottle and then yeet it into the nearest river to be sailed down to a riverside town near you so that some poor fisherman can be exposed to this bullshit.
What a a wonderful ending,
Yeah.
much like my lovemaking style. Thank you again for coming to the Unnamed Drag Podcast. My name is Hannah Arthole.
My name is Marilyn Sane.
Please like, comment, subscribe,
And use
put
it
it
in
in
that
that bottle. And we will see you next week.
Love you.
Bye. Unnamed Drag Podcast.